I'm Jay, and this is SKOL News. And we are going to talk about how the Cardiac Kids did it again. Justin Jefferson's record-breaking season. Kirk Cousins is balling. TJ Hockenson's record-breaking game, and more. But first, I want to give a shout-out to Overtime Hustling. Make sure you go over to overtimehustling.com, pick up the newest magazine. Check it out. You won't regret it. Great interviews, great information, a lot of real cool stuff. And that's at overtimehustling.com. So make sure you go check them out. Overtimehustling.com. All right, let's talk about the Cardiac Kids coming back again. They knocked about 127 years off my life over the last few games, but figuring out a way to win, battle tested. I'm liking it. I don't like the stress it causes me, but 12-3, anybody would have told me at the beginning of the year, Vikings 12-3, division champions, I'm excited. And I know a lot of people thought I was crazy, but when I was on here beginning of the year, preseason, I predicted the Vikings would go 12-5 and win the division. It's looking like they could have a better record than that. I don't want to jinx them yet. Two more divisional games away. But that's okay. The Vikings' next home game is a home playoff game. That's exciting. We'll SKOL to that one. All right, let's talk some Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson breaks Randy Moss's Viking single-season record for yards. Congratulations to him. He's 209 yards away from breaking the single-season record held by Kelvin Johnson. He's like 240-ish away from 2,000 yards receiving. Shout out to JJ. Dude's a monster. They're going to back that Brinks truck up for him in the offseason. They're going to get him extended, but there's somebody else who probably has to get extended for that to happen. But we'll talk about that in a second, because I just want to give a shout out to our coach, King in the North. Exactly what this Vikings team needed. He's coming in. He's changing the culture. These guys like being with each other. They like playing with each other. This is a good locker room. And I know the analysts and the talking heads keep saying worst 12-3 team in the history of the NFL. Okay. And at the end of the year, I'm hoping they're saying worst Super Bowl team to ever win a championship. Cool with that. Just put a ring on it. I've been a Vikings fan for over 40 years, and I just want them to put a ring on it. But let's talk TJ Hockenson. TJ Hockenson, 13 catches for over 100 yards, tight end record for the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Munson, I'm going to keep calling you out because you clapped at me on Twitter when I said it was a great trade for the Vikings, and you said it was a wash and that maybe the Lions got the better of the deal. All right. Shout out Sam Munson, PFF. But he clapped at me on Twitter, so every chance I get, I'm clapping back. All right, guys. Look at that. Hockenson and Jefferson are a duo made to play together. Kirk Cousins is balling. Don't care what anybody says. I see all the Kirk Cousins hate, and weirdly, most of it comes from Vikings fans. In the last 3 games alone, Kirk Cousins, 1,184 yards and 9 touchdowns. 9 tubs, 1,184 yards, 3 games.
You like that? You like that?
Dude, not even in the MVP conversation. Not saying he should win it. Just saying, can our boy get some credit? Can he get in the conversation? Can they finally start giving Kirk some love? All right. Kirk Cousins. Let's talk some Kirk Cousins. First Cousins. Let's talk balling. Balling. Takes more shots probably than any other quarterback and just pops right back up. He takes some hard shots. He's super accurate. He makes pretty good decisions once in a while. Not justifying everything. There's that bonehead fucking play. You're like, what the fuck? But I really like what Kirk's doing. Kirk's got 8 game-winning drives. 8 game-winning drives this season. And I know somebody clapped at me the other day and said, well, they shouldn't have to come down or come back 8 times. Not on Kirk. It's not on Kirk. Kirk doesn't play every position. Not on Kirk, right? Like, let's be real. Let's talk that Colts game. 33-point deficit. Yeah, that pick six, but anybody who watched the game knows Jalen Reagor fucked up 2 of those routes and they led to interceptions. But that's all right. He's learning the system. He's new. He's really good with the punt returns. Let's not kill Jalen for that. And we got another year with him, so we'll see how he develops. He could literally be the replacement for Adam Thielen at some point. Who knows? But loving what KJ Osborne's doing too. But let's talk about that 33-point deficit. Cook fumbles, recovered for a touchdown. Punt block for a touchdown. Pick six. The defense gave up 7 points and then 12 points in field goals. So that's not all on Kirk, but the fact that he's the leader of that offense, he brings them out. They never seem to not believe in themselves. I was in my feelings in that game at halftime. I was in my feelings in the third quarter. And then they got, 5 minutes left. They score. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing some other shit on my computer while I'm watching the game. And then they score again. And then they're down there to score that third touchdown, and computer shut down. I'm in because I'm looking at the clock. And I'm like, we can still win this thing. Exciting game. Almost gave me a heart attack. Yes, everybody is right when they're like, shouldn't have been down 33 points to the Colts. Okay, but the fact that they came back from 33 points down, the defense shut down the Colts after that field goal in the second half. Like, let's give some props. Yeah, shouldn't have been in that position, but they were, and they figured out how to come back from it. And we're going into an offseason where we're up against the cap. Already going into next year, it's almost $7 million over the cap. I know everybody, there's some split decisions on Kirk or whatever. Kirk's balling, my opinion, in the middle of the off season, Kirk will have a 3 to 4 year extension. It will free up some cap money. I know some people argue with me, but let me explain this to you. Yes, there is some dead cap you got to deal with because of the void years, but if he is still on the team, you can split those over 2. If he is no longer on the team in 2024, that whole $19 million is due instantly. And I know they're like, well, if you give him a $40 million contract and you got to split that $19 million, then you're looking at almost $50 million. No, you give him like a $1 million deal for the first year with a $40 million signing bonus, $50 million signing bonus, which can be spread out over the life of the contract. So then let's say it's $40 million over 4 years. You give him that signing bonus. So he's got $1 million base salary, $40 million over 4 years. So that's now $11 million for the first year because you split that 40 by 4. Then you take that dead cap money and you add that. You're at $20 million a year for the first year for Kirk Cousins. You can do that in the second year, and then it gets bigger in the third. If you can get him to a 5-year deal where he doesn't want 45 million a year, it'll work better. But to free up space, to extend Justin Jefferson, to re-sign TJ Hockenson, and there is a huge list of Vikings players who are free agents starting in 2024. So 1 more year with them, but go look. It's Kendricks, it's Hunter, it's Cousins, it's Hockenson. It's a list. Just Google it. 2024 Vikings free agents. I know everybody's like, they got a ton of cap money in 2024. Not if you look at all the free agents. You're going to want to extend JJ right away because 1, he fucking earned it. And 2, now I'm just throwing numbers out here. People can argue what the numbers are going to be. Just for the sake of argument, let's say JJ pulls $30 million a year after this season. Do you want to wait another season, let him have another record-breaking season, and now he wants $35 or $40 million a year, hence what happened with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. JJ's worth every dime. Give that guy his money, make him the highest-paid receiver in the league. Boom, done, JJ. And you can set that contract up because he's got 1 more year left and the 5th-year option. So what you do is you make the extension after those, and you spread that signing bonus out. So most of it's eaten up in the first 2 years because he has a lower salary because of the 4th year and then the 5th-year option. So it makes it easier on the salary cap to pay JJ that big money. You give him a 4-year extension. He's got 2 years left. He's extended for 6 years. But you give him a big-ass signing bonus that you can break up over that and eat a lot of it in the first 2 years. Then what do? You got to extend TJ Hockenson. You don't want him going into his last season. So you got to pay TJ Hockenson. You got to extend this guy because you wouldn't trade for him and you wouldn't give up a second in the trading of picks. It was a weird trade, but it was trading of picks, giving up a second, you're getting a third, that kind of thing. You're not going to do that if you're not going to plan on keeping the guy. So you have to extend him. Are you going to let KJ Osborne walk in 2024? Are you really going to let the core of that defense, and I know they haven't been playing lights out, but are you going to let the core of that defense walk away unless you have replacements? Is seeing the answer? Maybe. We didn't get to see enough of this kid play this year. He got injured in week 3 or whatever it was in the London game. So we didn't get to see much of him. And I know that people were upset that he didn't start the season, but let's talk about it. There's guys on that team, Bynum and Josh Martellus, that have been there. They earned that right. If it's close, they earn that right to start because they're more veteran players. And why rush a rookie into a bad situation? So we don't know exactly what we have with him, but we know that we have to do something on that defense to bolster it. But our offense is clicking. Why would you fuck with the offense? Just extend Kirk Cousins, spread out the salary cap money. That cap's just going to keep going up. We see what's going on with YouTube and the Sunday Ticket. That was a huge deal, reported at like $2.5 billion. You got all the new TV money. So yes, caps are going to start going up. If they get creative and play it right, they can get the situation. They can keep Cousins, extend JJ, extend Hockenson. They can re-sign Osborne and some of these other guys with extensions because you do it after. So the signing bonus doesn't hit all at once, and you can spread it out over. And with Osborne having on his 4th year, you could do a lot of different things, and you could eat a lot of that signing bonus in that first year. But let's just be happy. We're 12-3. We're division champs, King of the North, Kevin O'Connell. Let's not forget Kirk Cousins, JJ. That whole offense is clicking. Dalvin's been playing. Alexander Madsen's been great for us. I know it hasn't had, like, this weekend wasn't his greatest game or whatever, but he has been huge for us. Go watch some of his plays. I'm excited to get Irv Smith back, 2 tight end sets, see what happens. Maybe that opens Irv up more for the playoff run. And just remember, the Giants and Michael Strahan had the worst defense in the NFL before they went on that run and beat the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're as excited about this Viking season as I am. Please do not forget to go over to overtimehustling.com, cop the newest magazine, cop some of the merch. There's great music over there. You will love it. Make sure you go over to overtimehustling.com and get the Overtime Hustling magazine. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back. Hopefully, we'll be talking about a Super Bowl at some point. One world, one love. Deuces.